Okay, let's see. Sorry if the camera's a little, because it's on my feet right now and I'm resting my leg. Well, it's not on my feet. I'm resting my leg because of my feet, and my laptop's on my what is it? On my legs right here, on my thighs. So, anyways, I want to talk about my game real quick. I want to talk about the CHUCKY versus Kingdom of KAIZO gameplay. I want to talk about that. Mainly because in a way there's three types of gameplays. Even though it's still turn-based RPG, um, in all three forms, uh, basically you have your regular battle. In my game, there is random battles, but you're not gonna walk around. If you see my clips of my game, you're not gonna walk around in the oval map or in the dungeons and all of a sudden, boom, random battle. No, no. You have to go to a little grass area like you do in Pokemon if you want to fight the enemies. Um, and I thought that was just really smart to do because I know how people might not like how random battles work or something like that, but I didn't. I still enjoy a random battle sometimes. So not to say having enemies on the screen is not a good or helpful thing. It is, but it, when I decided to just do the Pokemon route, I thought it was just genius in my opinion. I literally told myself, I'm like, of course, just put some sections that have grass areas and not area because in the beginning of my game, it was like it was literally like a traditional RPG game. Like you went on the overworld map or in the dungeons, and you get random battles every like a few seconds or a few minutes, basically. So when that was happening, in the beginning, I was telling myself, I was like, I know a lot of people just probably want to get through the dungeon and get through the story, basically, because the random battles when at least for my game, not all games that this doesn't happen to all games, obviously, but it did happen. I started noticing with my game when I was testing it. It was hard for the player to get to the next section because either they kept dying from a random battle, basically, that they went through, um, or they just took long in the dungeon because the dungeon was not that big or that long, but the random battles was constantly to the point it's like okay, I had no one else tested this or anything like that. I tested all of this and as a gamer myself, when I was testing through it and playing through it, I was just like, I need to find a different route. I could leave it like this, I could, but I would like to have a different route. That way, people can be easily going on this turn-based RPG. So I decided to just do the Pokemon stuff, like little grass areas in the dungeon and some of the overworld map. Basically, even if you're on a grass field on an overworld map, you won't get um, a battle encounter, mainly because you haven't gone to like the forest section basically, or more of the grass section basically. You can always tell what has more grass or more green in my game, obviously, or more sections of what you should grind on, basically. And it's easy to figure that out, anyways. In one of the final dungeons, once you enter that dungeon, you literally start in the middle of you literally start in the middle of like a whole bunch of grass area, and you have to like walk around it and try to get out of there before you get a random encounter. So there is some areas like that. Um, so there's that. I want to put like some variety in it, obviously. What else? What was the other one? I put a car in my game because I love Twisted Metal, and I decided to just make a car that's like Twisted Metal. The only person that can use the car, like I said in my other videos, is SqaWn, the character in the game. He's the only one that can use it, and it is kind of funny seeing SqaWn go inside the vehicle, and while his plush monster car is in the front of it, and all his friends is in the back, and he's just driving along and stuff like that. That's why I mentioned in that one video of saying that hey, if you want to think it's a Mario Double Dash, go right ahead. Even though it's not, I mean that's not the inspiration for it. But if you think it's like that, or you feel like hey, it kind of feels that way, then go ahead and think that way. I mean, I'm not gonna deny you or anything like that. Because the fact that I even thought about Mario Double Dash when I was actually, just playing with my game, and I'm like, huh. I guess if if people wanted to think that way, they could if they wanted to. Huh, I never thought about that. Huh, cool. Um, so there is that. Um, and yes, with the car, it has weapons and it has some type of it has some magic also, so you can heal yourself. I think to put your magic up too. There is some enemies like the slime monsters. You cannot shoot them with your car. You have to use like I think there's another ability with your car that you could use, but um, I always recommend having a character that has magic or yeah, a character that has magic is taking out the slimes. Because it took me a while to see how it took me a while to be like, okay, this is a slime character, a slime enemy. I could hit him depending what slime it is, but some slimes are not going to get hit. Basically, you have to take out them with magic, and I did that, and I did that. It when I look back at it now, it is easy. All you have to do is put like they'll high defense, basically. It's always been that way. High defense, low defense. What is it? How fast they dodge or how fast they get a turn or something like that. So there's that. So um, and also in my game too, when you go to the shop, because my game is a hub board. Obviously, it's inspired by Mario 64, so it's a hub board area, and it's like Mario 64 hub area had sex with the open world of Final Fantasy, and then boom, it's like that. Even though my game is not open world at all, what you see is what you get, obviously. Um, and when you go to the store, there's items that you can get that can help you in battle. There was a let's see, an auto regen, which is not really auto regen at all because I just named it haste. There is haste, um, mainly because I think I put that as like shoes or something like that. Let me see. I got you guys. I have the game right here. I don't want to mess anything up here in this video, but yeah. I mean, I've been making sure my game is really good, really fine, and I should be done with it by almost the end of this month. It is June. It just became June. This is my birthday month. Today is my friend's birthday. My birthday is in June 20th. So there's a lot of I think my niece's birthday is this month too. I think it's on the 24th, I believe, or something like that. So so yeah, there's a lot of June birthdays. There's a lot of June birthdays that I know right now. So let's see. Okay, sorry guys, I just wanted to see my game here. That way I don't have to mess up and talk about. That way I can talk about my game but not mess up with what I'm saying. Okay. Um, let's see here. Okay. So let's see. Let me go to equip. Let's see. Okay. So with the characters, you can grab some power ups for them. They're not really a power up. It's the power up. Well, there's certain items, not items. There's certain things that you can equip on your characters. Sorry about that. They're accessories. And these accessories can help you with your help you hit harder, and then non crit like power up is to what is it for you to be stronger, and non critical is literally reduces the chance to get a critical hit basically. And there's so much more of it. There was regen. I have regen in here, but regen works very differently in my game. Let's see. Let me equip it, and it says recovers your HP by time, meaning that when you level up, you already have a little like let's see how much this will give you. This gives the effect value is about 200. So every time you level up, you get extra 200 health points basically. So there's that. And then with the MP regen, it's the same thing. The only difference is it's 100 value. So meaning that once you again level up two, your magic will increase by the number 100 basically. So I wanted to do that, something cool, something different. Um, and I thought it was really, and I thought it was pretty cool to do it, mainly because um, mainly because it reminds me of Mega Man a lot. I don't know why it just reminded me of Mega Man to use it. But the best thing is about this game too, you can have double of them basically. If you buy two of if you buy two of the same accessories basically of these of what is it, the things that can assist you in battle, you can literally stack up a lot of great things. So you can have two power ups and you can be strong as hell, or you can have two regens, obviously. Which I don't have two regens in this fire, but you could have two regens if you wanted to, basically, and then two magic points also if you wanted to, but you don't have to. But it depends how you want to play, and you know, because in this playthrough I decided to have two power ups because it's a lot better. You know, for me when I'm playing this game, and it has resistance to it's resistance to silent. Um, yeah, it's resistance to silent. So there you go. In the power for the, I mean, in the value, yeah, the value points for the power up accessory is 150. So when you stack both of them 150, and then you look at your strength, it's just so fucking good. Let me take that out. So you can see your attack power if you can see that. You see your attack power is on top of here, right there. That's your attack power, right? So that's how it looks like, right? You know, that's pretty good attack power. But if you put power up, especially if you have two of them, guess how much it is now? Yeah, yeah. Look at that. You see that? You see how that attack power is? It's so good. It's so good. When I first thought about that, I was just like, yo, this is fun. This is fun. I made it more, because when I was playing through the game, I was like, I would love to have an accessory that you can just use, and buy all the time. And you don't have to buy them, to be honest. It's an option, if you want to buy them in the store, but um, but it's much better if you do get them, mainly because why not? You know, it's there. Might as well get them. Um, let's see. You can show I'm trying to see if they showed my MP. Oh, okay, I see it, I see it, I see it. So, oh no, sorry, I'm going through different characters right here without pressing the regen here. I mean the regen, without doing anything here. Was it? I'm pressing my character's options instead of pressing X to look at their accessories and their equipment. My bad. Um, sorry, I had to be more specific for that. But anyways, so you see you see the number of her health, right? Of Kara's health, like about right here. That's the number 6,464. So if you put, let's see. Now if you put regen on it, it goes to. Oh, I think it's still the same number, isn't it? Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. I have to double check. So, let me see. Yeah, it's still the same number actually, but that's fine because, like I said again, once you level up, you get an increased factor of you get more of an upgrade basically of your health. Like your health goes up, obviously. And haste, I do have haste on in here, and haste obviously helps with the value of you being fast, obviously. Um, let's see, you being fast in the battlefield. Let's see. Yeah, you see. Let's see. I'm sorry about this, guys. So let me because I got to go to stats and then go back to equipment to show you guys. So let's go to let's equip this, equip that, and show you the stats real quick, especially on this character. So you see the speed, right? This is the tail. Um, this is the tail. Um, and the reason I put haste for the tail is because the tail assists you in battle a lot, and the tail is basically SkullKlown's tail. But he can always attach the tail and put it in the back of the party, or some other party member can use the tail, basically. And the little what is it? Low a mark on it. I mean, the little character is literally an homage to Shin Megami Tensei when you're walking around in the field. So I was just like, what type of tail should I use? Because originally it was just an arrow pointing down, obviously. But then when I saw this, I was like, you know what? I'll use that. You know, and I could probably use the arrow for some other game or something like that. And also too, there was not a point in the game that you can upgrade it, your tail, and you couldn't even equip accessories on the tail, because I don't think you can equip equipment on him. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can put accessories, but not armor, because there's no armor for the tail, obviously. But there is accessories you can put on the tail. So, okay, going back, let me show you the stats for him real quick. The tail. So the speed. Sorry about that. The speed is about 660, right? So I put haste. I want to talk about this before I continue on with more of the. So this is haste. I have haste, and it's resistant. And it's good too, because if you have haste, you're resistant to death. That is really good, because some enemies will use death on you, and the value for it is 170. So you put one, as you can see here, it's just one. You have it right there. Go check your stats again, and right now the speed for it is 830. But if you have another haste, let's see here. Actually, hold on. Okay, yeah. If you have another haste, which is good, it's again of the value of 170. Now your speed is 1,000. You see how crazy that is? You see how great that is? I love it. I fucking love it. Again, once I figured all of this out and how to make sure it worked, because when I first did it, I didn't use the value, because it took me a while to understand the value of when I was making my game. I'm like, how can I make this work? Because when in the beginning of the game, I was trying to figure that out. But then I kept fucking up for some reason, so I was just like, damn, I don't know if I can do this. But there you go. Oh yeah, and as you can see, I was using my car for a little bit. The car was right there. So you see that little area right there, the platform area there? That's another style of gameplay. You go to the enemy, well, boss, because the enemies are on regular battlefield like Pokemon. But the bosses, the thing is too, I was kind of torn on having having the battlefield separate from the boss um, battles, basically, because the boss battles are basically what I wanted for the regular battles, and also with the boss battles too. But maybe in the future, all I have to do is just put like I was thinking, like put like a little platform there, a grass area there, and people can just walk around there, and then you get a random battle. That's what I was thinking. But it kind of defeats the purpose of that, mainly because you see that little guy right here? Yes, this little guy right here, this little slime creature here, what I like to call the death bubble. The death bubble um, is there, and it's the soul or the spirit of the boss, and you have to go to it to actually fight the boss. You can't just go to the boss and fight him, because he will kill you, obviously. And I'm going to show you that here. And there's like some dialogue. And let's see. As you can see, hold on. You get hit, if I could get hit, it, the guy is trying to follow me, obviously. So if I get hit by him, I lose health. I lose health or MP depending on the enemy. Um, so the only way to counter that, the only way to make sure you're good with that is see keep getting up. So it's funny too that they go after you and stuff like that, and I made myself stuck there on purpose. But you go up here. Oops. Okay. You go up here. Yeah, you see, he hit me so many times that my health is low like crazy, and we can all die now. But as you can see, a cutscene happens, like a little dialogue happens, and then the little slime thing moves around. Um, I think randomly, because at first, I think yeah, it moves around randomly. Because at first I put it running away from you, but then usually it got stuck in some areas and stuff like that, or sometimes when you were going after it, it stood in one place basically when it was running away from you. So it's like, okay, I'd rather just make it random, make it go random, which is fine. I really don't mind that. It needs to keep the players on their toes of like, hey, where the fuck, where you going this time, instead of just having it running away from you, and then when you're having it inside the corner, you can just attack it basically, or just go inside the battle. So this little gimmick, I guess, this little battle thing that I have created was the inspiration that came from um, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. You know when you fight, you know how you fight Jafar? It's also from Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 did it. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 1. Sorry, not Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 1 did it also. But in Chain of Memories, it was more of inspiration for me than it was in. Also, yeah, in Chain of Memories, also on the PS2. But but when I played it on the, but when I played it on Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories on the PS2, and other um, console systems except for the Game Boy version, when I played it in that 3D perspective, I looked at it and I was like, wow, this is what my game would have felt like. It'd be like if you were actually fighting the boss and you were going after the death bubble, basically. So every time I was playing Kingdom Hearts 1 or Chain of Memories on the hardware systems, and I was just imagining my game being that type of 3D aspect when you're fighting those bosses, and I was just like, wow, that's I thought it was really cool. And the fact that when I got my gameplay down of it, I started to cry because I was just like, this is what I wanted for years. And at first, when you went to the enemy, you had an option to um, use party, because there was three command systems that you could have gotten. I had to change it because I couldn't figure out how to make it work really good, um, especially when it came to the party command. Because the party command was supposed to be like you could choose any party that you have, and you could switch your party basically, um, for any means necessary. If you feel like, oh, this character could do better with this other character, basically. Um, and then I decided to drop it because again I couldn't figure it out, and I was just like, just make it like an arcade game, like have have the player pick a character, and once they pick that character, they can go on adventuring basically. And the story says itself because that's why you have a cell phone, kind of like in Bioshock. It gives you like a little kind of like what they do in Expedition 33. They give you like a when you what is it, venturing around, they give you like little record things, kind of like in Bioshock, like um um those record boxes and all of that stuff. So I decided to use a cell phone for that, even though there's two options to get more of a story in that game. One, you have to talk to skeletons that are literally flat on the ground, and you talk to them, and they give you dialogue of the backstory of the world. And then you have the cell phone that that keeps the characters in contact with each other if they're not or they are in the party, you know. So there was that. I wanted to do that. And it made sense. It made sense to do that because I told myself too. I'm like, I don't know how to make cutscenes as of right now, and I will learn them later on. Maybe I should have learned it while I was making this game, but I wanted to make it very arcadey as possible because I love old games like that. I love old turn-based RPGs when they're like that, very arcadey. Same thing with Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto used to be arcadey as hell. Um, then that died with Grand Theft Auto fucking 5. Yeah, I said it. Moving on. Um, so I wanted to make it arcadey. There's that. Um, and the other command system besides party was going to be erase and spare, and there was going to be another one called save. Save means that you had like items that you saved, but I couldn't even put that, so I just decided to use three. And it was party, erase, and spare. Spare was going to be you just blocking. That's really it. Um, yeah, spare was just going to be you just blocking, and erase is literally attack. So, um, and the thing is, they're still in the game. The words erase and spare, they're still in the game. It's just that they're skills that you use to bring your parties up or the enemies down, basically. Like to put your it's like attaching a shield to you, and basically the skill abilities of spare, because there's a skill ability that's spell up and spell down. So spell up is you putting your defense up, and spell down is putting the enemy's defense down, obviously. And then with erase up and erase down. Erase up is to put your attack up, and erase down is to put the enemy's attack down, basically. And the enemies have this too. So, so it still lived on in a different way, but in that game, guys, you literally need to use spell down a lot because spell down takes a lot of damage from the enemy, and sometimes it takes a group of enemies out. And I was going to change that, but my game is so hard and challenging that I was just like, might as well, you know, um, might as well because I try to play my game without using spell down and erase down. Good God, like like you could play the game without it. I've done it before, but you're gonna die and die and die and die and die. You know, one day I was playing with my game, and I just kept dying and dying and dying because I wasn't using spell down or erase down. And then when I did use spell down, all the enemies on the field just their health went out. Some of them, because some of them they don't their health doesn't go down, but some of them do. So there's that. Um, and again, I was going to take that out too. Of like, no, it should just be their defense going down, not their health. But I didn't care. I just left it because I thought it was cool and fun, to be honest. Especially when you put the defense down on your enemies and then you see their health literally diminish, and you're like, yeah. I just got like a dopamine rush, and I was just like, yeah, I'm leaving that in. It might make the game too easy, but the game is already challenging as enough as it is. You know, there's other alternatives, basically. You know how there's like a give and take in some games. It's like if you have this, this may not have to happen, or if this does happen, then this might not happen. You know, so I want to do that with my game. I want to do like a give and take type of thing. So, like if you're strong, then the enemies will be equally as strong as you, obviously. And the thing is, that's what I love about my game. I looked at my game so much that the enemies, especially in the beginning of the game, they can kick your ass. They can put an effect on you, like I remember when I first tested. I remember when I was testing my game one day, right? And picked my characters and I started fighting low level enemies. And it took one enemy to have a turn to literally use stun to all my to my party. What was it? one enemy stunned my character, then the other one did the same thing because they copy each other, obviously, kind of like in other RPGs. They do that even in Expedition 33. And all my characters got stunned, and I got a game over. That was in the beginning of the game when I first started with low level enemies, and I was just like, oh shit, and I liked it because it reminded me of Shin Megami Tensei, you know, because in my game you have to defeat the enemy fast before they defeat you. You have to defeat it. It's I remember looking that up online. Has there ever been a game like that? And there is. There's games like that, and supposedly it's people call that a survival horror, which is kind of funny because they use type of horror elements in my game. My game is kind of like cosmic horror, um, a little bit, you know. Um, it does literally lean to cosmic horror a lot because they explain some things, but they're not going to explain a lot. For crying out loud, there's like Cthulhu monsters in my game. Like when you go to the battle arena, you literally fight um, um, Cthulhu and his friends in the battle arena. You know, so just to tell the player itself that yes, this is basically like an H.P. Lovecraft video game. You know, um, so and then you're always hearing about the serpent. Who's the serpent? You know, and as the player, you have to figure out who's the serpent. You know, is it one of the enemies that's around here, like Dembala, because Dembala is around here and he's a serpent. And I put Dembala in my game, and he's um I think Dembala is really cool that I put in my game. Basically, the father serpent. If you know who Dembala is, and yes, it is a thing about Chucky too. But again, when Chucky had that voodoo knife, it had a serpent on it because of Dembala, basically. Yeah, Dembala in my game, he cannot die. Um, you can fight him. You can fight him, especially in the beginning of the game. Basically, he's just a what is it called? He's basically just a he doesn't give you oh yeah, I forgot about that. The enemies give you experiences, but the bosses don't. Not all bosses. There's about like probably two or three bosses that will give you experience, and the rest would never give you experience at all. So that's why it gives you to also to your incentive to do battles so you can level up basically. And if you are going to fight those bosses, you can if you ever replayed it basically you can always pick, hey, I can fight this boss. Yeah, actually yes, there's three bosses that you can one is part of the story and two are optional if you just want to go and adventure out in the hub world area and be like, hey, you know, I played this game several times, obviously, and I want to get I want to get level up really fast. I want to get a lot of experience. How do I do that? Well, you fight one of these two bosses in the beginning of the game. You know, you can fight both of them and get more experience with that too. You know, so again, I wanted the player to feel like the freedom basically. I know a lot of people might be like maybe it's too much freedom, but at that point, I don't care. I don't care. I really don't, because at the end of the day, you have to go to your cat, talk to your cat, and that's how you get into the castle of KAIZO. Which is kind of funny, and I just thought it was kind of cute and funny that you have to talk to your cat to go on a mission to literally fight your main rivals. You know, like I just thought that was cute and funny at the same time. You know, and and who wouldn't want that? You know how many memes that you see online when you see a cat and there's like a light on a cat, you'd be like, and then it's like, and then you look at it, you're like, this is a side quest here, side quest or a main mission. You know, the cat is summoning me for a main mission. You know, so there is that. I just thought it was cool to do, in my opinion, and 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 then when you do go to the cat and about to go to the castle, there's options. You can start like I said before if you see my videos, but I'm going to have to say it anyways. You can start um, in any stage you want to. Obviously, You can start at any stage you want to. It'll be hard because each stage gets harder and harder and harder. And has tougher enemies and tougher enemies. But if you feel like you can skip one and two and go to three, you could. Or if you feel like you can skip one, you could. There might be story details you will miss, basically, but that's fine. That's fine. It just depends the player wants to play. And by the way, you don't have to go to the castle to beat the game. You don't have to go to KAIZO's castle and fight KAIZO to beat the game. There's two endings in my game. There's the regular ending when you beat KAIZO, and then when the credits go, it says story continues. Because in post game, you have to fight Marduk, and you can go and fight Marduk at the sand cave, and it's literally an homage to Dune. That sand cave is literally an homage to Dune. Like seriously, I'm not lying about that. That's how much I love Dune, and I was just like, I'm putting some. And yes, there are sandworms in my game. Seriously. But I named it differently. Not sandworms, sandworms, the dragon, basically. So I decided to do that. I thought it would be more fun to do it that way because, again, the game is talking about serpents all the time. And it's like, oh, can you stop the serpent? Or like, oh, the serpent must be stopped. You know, it's a big question of who is the serpent in my game, basically. I know who's the serpent in my game, but with you know, like it's so cool in my opinion, and it tells a story too, you know, especially when I don't want to say that because I feel like that's a spoiler, uh, you know, you know how you have characters like in Dragon Quest or in Final Fantasy VIII, the way that is, yeah, it's like that. So it's like when you look at that, and then you put that story implemented to it, and then you have other enemies that are like that too. You know, the enemies are called the serpent. You always hear like, "Who is the serpent? Who the fuck it is? Is it who is it?" You know, like it just makes you question who it is, basically. And the game was never going to tell you it. The game was never going to tell you who the serpent is. They were hinted. They were being like, what is it? Oh, maybe it's this guy. Oh, maybe it's this guy. You know, just to steer you away of who it actually is. You know, but I just think it's great. To me, it's great. You know, as a person that loves stuff like that, storyline wise, it makes me gush. So the fact that I did that in my game gets me all giddy and love and warm inside. But anything else um, with my game that I could talk about before I end it off? I think that's it. Again, you can get like armor and stuff like that. You can also get armor in the battle arena and stuff. So when you start in the game, the where you start off in the game, that's where you're going to keep going, keep going, keep going back the most, because there is shops when you explore KAIZO's castle, but the shops are just there to for you to restock your some of your items, like your health items or your magic items. You know, they're not going to give you armor and stuff like that. Some will, but not all will give you armor. You know, so it's like it's good to it's a good incentive for you to basically go to the original spot that you started the game in and go to that shop because it has all the stuff that you have. You just need the money for it. You know, and then there's like by the end of the game, there is certain chests that will give you those type of items if you don't have the money, like certain armor that you can get if you don't have that type of money, basically. And if you have the character for it, you can equip it on that character. If not, you can just sell it. So there's that. Um, yeah, I made sure that you could get money in this game, literally. Um, I did. I made sure. I still need to edit one of the things for you to get money in because originally you were going to get like these monster cards and you give it to a lady, a smoking hot wizard lady, and she will give you. I mean, she will let you fight these monsters that you fought before, basically like either regular enemies or bosses, and she would give you a lot of money basically, uh, just by giving her a card, fighting those monsters, and then boom, here's a whole bunch of money. You know, so. I still need to edit that because right now it's kind of wonky and funky. Um, but I think it's fun to. I think that is kind of fun too because it gives you more of a incentive to play the game more, but also get more money more. You know, I also put a strip club in my game, and yes, you can have sex with all the strippers in that game. It obviously fades to black, but you could still do it. Yes, my game is not for, it's not for rated E for everyone. I'll say that right now. Or rated T for teen, you know. So it's very rated M for mature, you know. Um, so yeah, going back to what I said about my game, you don't have to go to Kaiser's Castle to beat the game. If you wanted to, you can go to post game right away. You might get your ass kicked. You might like you can go to the sand cave because the sand cave is supposed to be like post game and it has the hardest enemies in that in that area basically. But you don't have to go to Kaiser's Castle to fight Kaizu, defeat the four fiends, and everything. You know, and get the crystals that they give you and stuff like that. You don't have to do that. You go, you can go to the sand cave if you're properly level, properly level. I would say like up to like 35 and 40, you should be good around that level. So when you're in that type of level, you can go there, fight the Baron because the Baron is in my game. Again, it's an homage to Dune, so obviously, and then you can fight Marduk, and then once you fight Marduk, the credits roll, the real credits roll basically, because if you fight Kaizu, the credits roll obviously. Once you beat him and all that stuff, the second what is it? The second when you fight him the second time and all that. Oh, like that's a spoiler. You need to fight the final boss a second time. Oh, sorry, I didn't know it's a spoiler nowadays. but but you could do that, right? You don't have to. Again, you don't have to fight Kaizu. But when you do fight Kaizu and you get the credits, by the end of the credits it says story continue question mark because now it's post game basically. In post game, you get to you if you wanted to, you can go back to the castle again. Um, you can go to the second level of the castle and start over again, but you're fighting new enemy, you're fighting new bosses in the area that you fought in the area that you fight the bosses in. You know, in the storyline. So in post game, you fight the main bosses. You beat the you beat the main boss, the main story. Now you got post game, and you go to the castle again to fight new enemies, new boss enemies, and they're hard as shit. They're hard as shit. Okay, they're hard as shit. They really are, and yeah, and this is the person that made the game. All right. So there's status effects in this game. Obviously, a lot of enemies will give you status effects, and obviously, what is it? My game is literally like a survival horror game because again, you have to defeat the enemy fast before they defeat you. There was an enemy called um, a deity in my game. If you ever play my game and you see that enemy, run, run, run. Especially if you're low level. Especially if you run into two of them, because they are weak to petrify. You can petrify them, which is great. But if you take too long to defeat them, because they do have a lot of health, and they have a very high defense, but if you take a long time to defeat them, they cast meteor on your ass, and your whole party is wiped out. And there is meteor. There's Ultima and meteor in my game, but you have to go to like level 60 and 70 and 90s to even get those, basically. And I was going to change it so when you're like in level 50 or 40, you get those. But they're so powerful to the point that it wipes everything out in the stage. I mean, in the battle. Now I'm just like, make the player walk for it. If they want to get to level 99 or level 90, or like if they want to literally rank all their party members up like that, then let them do it, and that will be your reward. Freaking Meteor and Ultima. Again, it depends what character you use. Because some characters might even have that to begin with, you know. So there's that. Because not every character is going to have the same ability or the same magic stuff, you know. But I think that's it. Uh, but yeah, that's one of my favorite things I did in my game. I literally one day I was playing with my game and I was like, hey, let's not go to the castle this time. Let's go straight after Marduk. I got my ass handed to me. I did. But the best thing is that the enemies, once you do defeat an enemy, in that section of the sand cave, you would get so much experience, and once you get that experience, you basically are already good for the rest of the game. You don't get it all at once, I don't think. I think you have to fight at least 3 or 4 times for you to be that proper level to be in that area. Then you're basically good for the whole game. You know, like if you wanted to in my game, you have the option to literally go to the sand cave, fight in the beginning area of the sand cave because it has high enemies, but you can still defeat them and get so much experience basically. Because if you keep going, you're gonna meet other enemies and they will kill you. You know, so especially if you go after the Baron and what is it Marduk, because again every enemy and boss is the same. If you take too long to defeat them, they will kill you. They will kill you either by stunning you, petrifying you, or doing a special attack on you, basically, and you'll basically be wiped out. You know, um, the most important things you need to be careful with this game is stun, death, and petrify, and poison. Those are the things you need to be careful of too. Those are the things that you very have to be careful of. And there's some aspects that I wish that I didn't use poison all that much in my game, but at the same time, it's like you got to pick something. Either it's too much stun, too much petrify, too much dark, too much. You know, like it's always every game, mostly every turn-based RPG that uses status effects. Even in Shimigami's in fault with this too. Shimigami does the same thing. In Shimigami 5, literally, from what I can remember, in Shimigami 5, it's you have to use light, dark, and sometimes might have to switch around, but it's mostly those two things that you should be least affected by, basically. You know, so there is that. So that's always happened with a lot of RPG games. You know, um, it's not a flaw or anything like that. It's just that it's something I've always thought of like how can you balance that out? How can you balance that every element or every status effect basically is equal to one status effect instead of just being like hopping on one status effect like poison, for example, and not the other ones basically. You know, it's very hard to do, very hard to do, mainly because if you focus on one thing too much, it can get boring and stale basically. You know, I'm just using poison all the time. You know, um, and the thing is too with my game, it's like this in every RPG too. Once you get certain skills and abilities, obviously, when you use them in battle, you don't even have to really use them because once you get, because you already have defense up. I mean, not well, yeah, technically, yeah. What's it? Spare up. So when you use spare up, you're good for your whole party. It because there's two types of spare ups. One that can do it all by your, or just by a regular party, basically, or you can do it to all your parties, basically. It depends what character you choose. Because some characters will be like, oh, I can spare up all my teammates, or I can only spare one of my teammates, basically. Again, it depends what character you're using. Um, but mostly all the characters that are in the game have a spare up that can give to every party, basically, because it's easier that way instead of just picking the character and being like, okay, you got it now. Okay, now you got it now. Okay, you got it now. That's too much turns, basically, too much turns, and then also when the enemy, like, of course it's too much turns because I just told you that hey, if you take too long defeating the enemy, they will kill you. So obviously there had to be a workaround with that. There's still the regular erase, spell down and spell up. Obviously, they still have just a regular one, basically, if you want to play that way, if you want to. Or if you have a character that's like that, basically. Or if you want to choose a character that's like that. So, there's so many different stuff you can do with my game. There's so many different stuff, different combinations of characters you can use, different combinations of fighting styles you can use. Um, yeah, and different ways how to beat the game. You don't even have to fight KAIZO to beat the fucking game to see the credits. You know, and like I remember doing that. Like I did that one day. I told my friend, "Yo, man, I beat my game without going to Kaiser's castle. I just went to the sand cave, leveled up a bit, and beat the Baron, beat Marduk, and then got the credits going. And I'm like, I beat the game. I beat the game. Who knew? I think it's really cool. I think it's cool that I did that. And how many games can say that they can do that? Maybe Legend of Zelda, right? I think. I think. But I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I just want to talk about a little bit more of my game. Because I love the way I made my game. I really did. It is my baby. It took me 4 years to make, basically. And hopefully when I make my next game, it doesn't take 4 years to make. Because I'm not going to try to rush it or anything like that. But, because in my next game, I'm thinking of, like, making it into, like, almost like a silent game. Like, there will be dialogue and stuff like that. But when it comes to, like, certain characters, that they're not going to be talking as much. Mainly because, it's going to be basically the game after the SkullKlown vs. Kingdom of Kazu. After I'm done with that game, I'm making a game that's basically an homage to Godzilla and Kong with these new movies that are coming out. The new game that I'm calling is Titan Kong versus Titanzilla. Titanzilla versus Titan Kong, Journey to Hollow Earth. That is what it's called. You know, and one of the characters from this game is in there, but SkullKlown's not in there, obviously. But it's a prequel to the SkullKlown vs. Kingdom of Kazu game, basically. And then the sequel to SkullKlown vs. Kingdom of Kazu is called Dippy Griff and David Duck in the Simulation World. In that game, it was going to be a Howard the Duck game, but then I was just like, in the future, say if I can't make a Howard the Duck game, well, might as well make it into something else then. But the ideas of me with the Howard the Duck video game was still there. Like, it was still going to be a simulation. It still was going to be Howard still in a simulation world, or him figuring out that he's in a simulation world, basically. So it still was going to have those elements, basically. So I just decided to take Howard the Duck out and be like, hey, I have these two characters that are parodies of Donner and Goofy, and I put them in my game, so I might as well just use them. Why not? Who's going to sue me? Disney? These are parody characters. You can't sue me for parodying Donner and Goofy. I'm sorry. Too bad, boo-boo. If I get sued for that, then anybody that does a parody of Donner and Goofy needs to be sued, including yourself, Disney, because you know. But I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Be safe. Seriously, be safe. And let me know what you guys think about my idea of my game and stuff like that. I'm glad my game is different from Expedition 33, and I'm glad that Expedition 33 is different from my game. You know, again, like I said before, my 2-hour video of Expedition 33. I don't want gaming companies to look at Expedition 33 and be like, oh, this is how turn-based games should be now and forever, and if it's not, fuck off. And it's like, no, sorry. Maybe sometimes I want a turn-based RPG that plays like Final Fantasy 13. That combat style still hasn't come back, and people have been wanting to come back. Same thing with Final Fantasy 10 combat. You know. And some people even say the traditional Final Fantasy combat from Final Fantasy 1. Some people still want that type of combat to come back because of you have points, magic points that say if you have 50 of magic points and you use all 50 of them, now you can't use it anymore. You have to go at an end and go to sleep, basically. Kind of like in Pokemon. You know how in Pokemon there's certain times you can use an attack, basically. It's like that with Final Fantasy with its magic. So, and I've always liked it that with Final Fantasy 1, but they did change it with the remakes, and you're using magic, just plain good old magic, like you see in other Final Fantasy games and in Kingdom Hearts. So I'm over here like, so the whole magic point system is literally non-existent, and you make the game actually too easy. You know, because the whole point of Final Fantasy One with those point system is to make it challenging and make you think, okay, should I use this now or should I use it later for a boss? I love that. I love that. That's what I love about Final Fantasy One. But when I played, I don't think Dawn of Souls does that, or the PSP version. I think only the original version does that, and I think the PS1 does that too. I could be going with the PS1 version, but I know that the original Final Fantasy does do that, and it made you think. It made you, hey, maybe I should strategize of how to attack. Basically, it was so good. It was really really good, and I hope one day Final Fantasy brings that back. I hope it does, because it made it more it made you more cautious in battle, basically. Because with the remakes, like the Dawn of Souls remake and the PSP version of Final Fantasy One, you could just spam magic and literally just destroy every enemy on the field. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Um, but I was trying to do that with my game too, but I couldn't figure it out all that much. Um, because originally, if you wanted to get magic, you had to go to the magic shop and buy books, and if the books ran out, that was it. You know, that's what I was going to do. Like you had certain points of those magic skills, kind of like in Final Fantasy One, and then once it was gone, you had to go back to the magic shop and buy them again. That's what I was going to do with my game, but I decided not to do that. Um, I decided to maybe save that for another game, maybe for later, because it's still not a bad idea. Just it depends on the execution, you know. The ideas could be good. It's just about the execution at the end of the day, you know. Oh yeah, and I never told you this. The way that my dungeons work in my game is literally Super Mario Brothers 3. You walk around. You have this open. You have this area that's like that's reminiscent of like the open world of Mario Brothers 3 when you're on the map of Mario Brothers 3 and you go into the levels. It's like that. The dungeons are like that. And then when you go inside of one, then you're inside a dungeon. And you go through that dungeon, and once you get out of that dungeon, you go back to that open world. You can go to another dungeon, basically. And there's like routes and stuff like that. Not always. It's mostly just a straightforward path, basically. Oh, look at that! It is a hallway. Oh, I'm just so is Expedition 33. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. It is a narrow hallway. No. Oh God! I'm teasing. I'm teasing. But I'll see you guys. Be safe, okay? Be safe. I hope you guys enjoy my videos. I hope you guys enjoy my two drunk videos that I did too. The drunk video of me just talking and the other drunk video of me talking about Expedition 33. Just gushing about that game. So, and why not me talking about my game a little bit? You know? Because might as well. I haven't talked about my game in quite a while. And I do want to show it off more when I have the chance to. I'm just trying to heal my foot ever since I got drunk one day and fell off the bus and I twisted my ankle. But it's healing now, so trust me. Getting almost 100%. I'm almost 100%. So, and I'll be able to walk really good again and not slow like a motherfucker. So right now I'm handicapped. but but I'll be good. I'll be good soon, guys. I'll be good. You know, I'm not going to worry about it. You know, it's all about mental. Anyways, because if I'm depressed with this, then it's never going to heal. You know, so take care of yourselves. Again, like I said, take care of yourselves, guys. Love you guys, and be safe. Be safe. Um, and anybody that wants to make a game that you're passionate about, and because some of these video games are not doing it for you, and that's the thing, man. I said this a long time ago. When these video game designers didn't want to give us what we want, guess what? We did it ourselves, and they hate that. These video game companies don't want us to be that way, but we are doing it, and I'm glad more people are doing that. There's more people like me that want to make good shit, and if you're not going to give us good quality shit, Disney, then guess what? We're going to do it ourselves. Fuck off. Square Enix, Rockstar. You know? I'll see you guys later and be safe.